We're going to have to come up with answers that set politics aside.
Oh,
they don't hear us.
We're going to bring you some stuff that's going to make you feel better. They don't hear us.
they don't hear us.
Hey, and shout out to the folks who are covering this coalition, because they don't hear us.
Hi, I'm Halima, and I'm this evening's host for They Don't Hear Us. And our special guest this evening is
Rafiah Muhammad-McCormick. I am a director of community outreach with Tennesseans for Alternatives to the Death Penalty. I am a victims advocate with Mothers Over Murder, and most recently, I founded my own organization, Rodney's Village, in honor of my son, Rodney Armstrong.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so what inspired you to become a part of so many organizations in the community?
Oh, wow. How far can I go back?
As far as you need to tell your story.
Okay, well, I've only actually been working in the streets for 2 years, but I think it started when my son was killed in 2020. Prior to that, I was a automotive engineering manager for almost 25 years. And prior to that, I was a single parent, did a little dabbling in some drug dealing and all that. And working in the automotive industry, in my mind, I had earned my way and educated my way away from violence. And when my son was killed in 2020, July 9th, I call it my day of reckoning. He was not a victim of a drive-by, a carjacking, a drug deal gone bad, any of those things. And so that was my wake-up call that violence is all around us. And so after he was killed, I took some time and just reflected. We were navigating the criminal proceedings, going through all of that. And as we were going through that, the feeling of being just jerked around, like having no control over what was going to happen. Initially, when the young man was initially charged, he was, we felt like, the system was totally behind us. They were going to do everything they can. We were very angry. And we're looking for vengeance. And originally he was charged with second-degree murder. However, as we were going through the sentencing, everything going around back and forth with the DA, plea agreements and sentence agreements and all of that, just feeling, like I said, that we had no control of the situation. And I actually wound up asking for a restorative piece to be added to his sentence at the end. And that was my entryway into this criminal legal system work, reform, and supporting victims. I really feel like currently the system causes more harm than it does healing, that it doesn't support victims, and our focus on that tough on crime mentality and vengeance sentencing is causing more harm in our communities. And so we have to be doing something different.
Thank you. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced or may be facing in your journey, and what are you doing to overcome them?
I would say some of the biggest challenges is that you want to save the world. You want to just do everything. Initially, when I first started this work, I was volunteering with organizations like Free Hearts, and back then, No Exceptions. We were focusing on getting the 51 dropped to 25 year life sentence. That was my entry into this work. And I was able to get a position with Tennesseans for Alternatives to the Death Penalty, where our mission is we value life, we honor life by the abolishment of the death penalty. And most recently, we've changed their model, I would say basically focused because of the intersect work that I've been able to bring in that alignment as I'm going out in the community and talking about the death penalty and the racist roots and how it doesn't serve us. And as we were talking about how victims need to be served and how we need to be focusing on community-based violence prevention, not just talking about it, but actually being about it. And so we've been able to add that to our mission this year as well. So I would say my biggest challenge is that, especially when you do intersect work, you have to find a point where you're like, let me stay in a lane for a minute, because you can get overwhelmed and your message can become diluted.
So would you say finding your lane, recognizing it, did that allow you to shape your path in the work that you do?
Yeah, it did. It did. You know, being impacted, being in this space as an impacted person, you know, my driving force is the fact that I lost my child. Rodney was 29 years old when he got killed. And what I didn't say about that was that I was home when it happened. And I call it my day of reckoning because when I came outside and he was what I thought was entangled with the young man who had shot him, I separated him. Rodney fell to the ground. And the young man, before he ran out the backyard, we locked eyes. And I saw that glimpse of remorse before he left. And so that day, that moment in time plays on repeat. And so I came from, in being automotive engineering, my focus was always root cause analysis and problem solving. And so when I came into this space, I was always focused on, okay, what can we do about this violence? What can we do about nobody else's child getting killed? And instead of, you know, focusing on just one thing, I wanted to look at the root causes overall and bringing those different spaces together. So I think it has allowed me to really kind of start to focus on my journey. Rodney's Village is actually going to be focused on helping young parents age 16 to 23 and teaching them how to raise children in a healthy environment. So that those young people, because I remember back when I was raising my youth and I was a teenage mom, you know, when you're dealing with survival and how you're going to feed these kids and how you're going to take care of them, you know, too often the loving on them gets pushed to the side. The reading the bedtime, yeah, because you're in survival. You know, when they come in there and they ask you to read in a bedtime story, you're yelling at them, just go to bed, because you're so tired, because you just got off work and you got to go back in. And so trying to teach these young people how they are able to balance that at the same time when they're so focused on survivor, and how important it is, because if you don't, you know, what the consequences of what seems like something so little, you know, sending kids to bed every single night, screaming and hollering at them and yelling at them when they're waking up in the morning, hurry and brush your teeth, hurry and get out the door, and everything is just so aggressive, you know. It results in our children who have no emotional intelligence and are unable to resolve conflict. At the same time, when we're in a world where everybody is saying, carry a gun. And here in Tennessee, where we're allowed to carry a gun without a permit as young as age 18.
Work for our community to help these boys that's killing our kids. Why are you doing it? Right. I went to hurt this boy because I was also clicked up with the gang my damn self. So when I found out this was blood against Crip, okay, all you do is make one phone call and shut that shit down. But then when I got to the funeral, I couldn't do it after I saw all them people. So that means my son, your son, have touched all them damn people that was at that funeral.
Yes.
So you can't even go there now. So I had to call Big Lonnie and tell him shut it down. Because you already know what he finna do. So now I'm looking for the boy and his mother to help them. How can I help you not put another bullet in somebody else's son? And so this is how we got to do. I ain't saying everybody got to be there where I'm at. But this is what we have to do. We got to get back to our community and see what's wrong with these black boys. What is they missing? What can we teach them? Who really wants to put down the gun? Who really wants out but ain't got nothing to do? What am I asking them to give up shit for and I ain't got nothing to put in their hand? I ain't got no store open that they can work in. I can't build no body shop for them to go entrepreneur. I can't put $1,000 in their pocket, at least pay half your mama bill. Ain't no just me going to them unless I have this bag up. And that's where that power come in, that child. So that's all I wanted to.
Thank you for sharing that. Who or what were some of your biggest influence, and what lessons did they teach you?
So, I'm a, what they call him, the PK, a preacher kid.
Preacher kid.
My father, he is a Muslim imam. He's been an imam since I was 5 years old. And, you know, I was raised in the village, in the community. I remember us opening our homes to families who may have been homeless, and me having to give up my room, you know, to a family and bunk with my sister or whatever. So I was raised in that environment. My mother, she was, before she got her PhD, she was an educator in the Sister Clara Muhammad School. And so being able to see just that volunteering, like this wasn't something she was getting paid for, and wanting to educate and wanting to help other people in the community. And I would say my, also being a part of the Muslim community I'm with is WDM Ministries, who is Elijah Muhammad's son. So Warfdeen Muhammad was a big mentor of mine, and seeing how this man, this small stature man with this big aura and presence that would arrive in different speaking events all over the countries, not with no big old entourage, not with pulling up in no fancy car. I mean, sometimes it was just somebody in the community that volunteered to bring them, and would be traveling all over the country and all over the world. And that humbleness and has always stuck with me. And so I've kept that in this own space as I move in different spaces. I would say that's a big part. I was taught, even being raised Muslim, to have an appreciation for other religions, other cultures, other races. And so I think I was always taught that intersectionality as a young person. My father, like I said, he was a Muslim imam. I had an uncle that was a Mason. My grandfather, who was a minister, who was a Christian minister. And listening to those men every Sunday, be able to talk spirituality and religion with not dispute or to say whose religion was right or wrong, but to focus on those common pieces has stayed with me my whole life.
Now listening to your story, I can see where the humbleness comes from, because you can see it on you. You can see it on you. So your organization, tell me the name again.
Rodney's Village.
Rodney's Village. So what projects are you currently working on or have started to work on? Okay,
so Rodney's Village originally was not slated to launch until next year. In July we're starting to take applications in April and a launch in July. But this year, with the work that I was doing with bringing TADP and my work with Mothers Over Murder together, I was able to gain national attention from an organization called Crime Survivors of Safety and Justice. And I gained national attention with the work that I was doing on the Victims' Compensation Bill. And so we just recently passed unanimously through the House and the Senate a bill that enhanced the victims' compensation for individuals who have been impacted by violent crime. And so what triggered that work was me doing research and finding out that 70% of Tennesseans were being rejected and denied victims' compensation in Tennessee, and that as many as 90% were not even applying. 90% of victims are believed to not being served at all because of being discouraged of applying or not even knowing. And so I was doing some work with crime survivors of safety and justice in that space. And Rodney's Village, we had did our 501c3 and our charter paperwork for his birthday this past April. And so CSSJ reached out to me and invited me to bring, Rodney's Village to come to DC and bring 150 victims with us. And that was our first project. So we were able to raise the timeline forward on getting Rodney's Village off the ground. We actually took about 100 people from Memphis and Nashville to DC to march with crime survivors in safety and justice and to ask for a victim's Bill of Rights. So we're asking for an enhancement in the victim's Bill of Rights. If you look at the current victim's Bill of Rights, it merely focuses on what a victim has rights to in relation to the criminal and court proceedings. And what I say by that, meaning you have the right to be notified, of what's going on. You have a right, to attend hearings. You have a right to the trial being, almost the same rights as the criminal has. Those are the victim's rights. Really, only thing is different is that you have the right to be notified if they're released. That's probably the only one that's additional. And so what we're asking for, this victim enhancement on the Victim Bill of Rights, is to actually identify things that the victim needs to heal. Case in point, you lose your child. Your employer allows you 5 days off through the bereavement policy. Is that really enough?
No.
A person in the neighborhood has harmed you. I don't want to live here no more, but I'm stuck in a lease. If I break it, I'm charged the remaining of it. Things like that. The right to, as we just went through COVID, remember all of those things that we were allowed forgiveness on. Debt forgiveness. We're going to give you time to not pay your bills right now because we know you're going through a pandemic.
Yes.
Victims should be given those same type of rights, in the event that they are impacted by something they also have no control over. So.
That is true. Okay, so how do you measure success with the work that you're doing right now with Rodney's Village? So when let me add this, because when you speak on it, there's this smile and this glow.
Is it?
It is. So how would you measure your success?
I guess, so Rodney's Village is going to be the first event that we didn't even expect, that dropped in our laps, to find out that we had been recognized nationally and were given this opportunity to be able to take all these victims to DC. They paid for everything. And this was Rodney's Village first project. And I didn't know any of these people. And to see people that had got on the bus that were in different levels of brokenness, depending on whatever trauma they were going to, on the way there. We were on this 15-hour bus trip. We're together for 2 days in DC. We come back another 15 hours. And the people that got on the bus on the way there were not the same people that got on the bus returning. We heard things like, I've been holding on to this for decades. I finally feel free. I found my voice.
In D.C.
Well, let me ask you something. So I am a survivor of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yes, I'm here because I'm representing all of the people who are in families where everything is kept a secret. I was sexually assaulted by a cousin at 4 years old. It was a secret, well-kept secret. We don't talk about it.
Right.
So I'm the voice for all of those people who could not be here today because, damn it, I'm talking about it.
Yeah, man. Hey, let's clap it up for him one time. Yeah. All right, so why are you here? Why are you here?
I'm here to speak against gun violence.
Okay. So tell me your situation. What you got?
I lost my baby brother. He was 27, like 6 months ago, to gun violence.
Wow. Well, we here for you.
Yes.
We here for you. This is your community. This is your family now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so where are you from?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
All the way in where?
All the way in D.C.
All right. Y'all see the monument in the background. All right. Tell me your story.
Hi, so my name is Elvany, and I am a domestic violence survivor. Last year, my life changed forever, but baby, this year, Tennessee is in D.C., and we making some changes, baby. Know that.
All right.
So we got Jersey in the house.
Jersey, talk to me, Jersey. Talk to me, Jersey. Tell me why you here. Tell me why you here.
Good. Well, we here advocating for survivors, those that we lost, our loved ones that's been impacted and affected by crime. It's a lot of us that has been silenced because of what we went through, but we here to speak up for them.
All right. So you carry the voices of many.
Carry the voices of many.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make it.
That's right.
Hold up, why you here? Tell me why you here.
I'm here because of justice and safety for all.
Yes. And where you from?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, baby, the land.
All
the
right.
land.
Cleveland in the house. Cleveland, Ohio. All right.
And that's the main thing, is that I call success when we're able to empower other people. So often, individuals even in service work, we get caught up in our egos. Because there's so much that so many people need, that when we are able to save, sometimes so many successes, causes you to just be focused on that and internalize it with you being the savior. And for me, success looks like we all win. We all have to win. And the reason why I'm so focused on that is because those 25 years when I had turned my life around, when I was so goal-driven that, we got to have this house, we got to have this car, the kids are going to go to this school, I never was thinking about community. Mm-hmm. I was just focused on what happens in my house. And that's a lot of us in the world today. The only thing we're worried about is what's going on in our house. But we don't recognize that if we all don't win, the people that are losing are going to impact you. Mm-hmm. It's going to touch you. There's no way that if we're all on the Titanic, just because you had the best seat on the boat is going down. You are going with it. I don't care if you were the richest person on the boat. I don't care if you had the pearls and $1 million bank account. The boat is going down. You're going down with everybody. And so we all have to win. That's what success looks like.
Okay. So Rodney's Village was spontaneously given its first project before its established date.
Yeah.
So could you share what will be its first grand event when it is in fruition next year?
Yeah.
Would you like to share that with us?
Oh yeah, definitely. So Rodney's Village is a cohort model. Okay. Our goal and our mission is to create that village mentality with the attendees. So each cohort is a 12-week program where we bring in 12 attendees. And those 12 attendees are made up of parenting couples. Now, you don't have to be in a relationship no more, but you have to join together. And so our goal is they'll go through a series of lessons. We'll be focusing on, like I said, how to parent in a healthy environment, how to co-parent in a healthy environment. Moving away from this, I'm not gonna let you see your kid because you're in a new relationship. those type of things. So how to co-parent in a healthy environment. Focusing on how to help them raise their emotional intelligence, how they react to stuff, how to, navigate when things aren't going your way. How do I react to that to the point that we're not being toxic? How do we resolve conflict appropriately? How we talk to our children, how we talk to each other, that in turn encourages our children to be able to talk to each other and not to be, so often I'm hearing now, my 4-year-old got kicked out of kindergarten, or my 4-year-old is in their 3rd preschool. And it's like, how do we have a 4-year-old that is getting kicked out of multiple programs? Well, if she's seeing everybody respond to conflict by hitting each other or by cussing each other, that's all she know.
True.
That's all she know. And a lot of times now it's quite easy for us to just put the child in front of we watching whatever we want to watch on TV. We just got the kid over there looking at the tablet, but they still are absorbing all of those things. So teaching them just really how to provide a healthy environment. And then, of course, focusing on the resources. So you can give people all the healthy tools that you need, but if they don't have access to food and shelter and finances, they don't care about all that. So we also help them with financial, getting their credit repaired, helping them with financial intelligence and empowerment, helping them with how to get access to affordable housing, start teaching them on when you get ready to buy a home, what this looks like. How to be making sure that, hey, instant gratification of I'm just getting ready to leave out this apartment because I don't want to live here no more, how that impacts you for so long. So basically focusing on those resources, how to not be strapped in a situation where Walmart is far, far away, and so the only thing I have to shop at is Dollar General. What can I be doing in my own home and in my own house to be able to provide nutritious foods for my children?
Yes, just real quick. If someone wanted to attend one of those conferences with you, give us 20 seconds on how we could reach out to you.
Okay. Well, you can call me, 615-917-7961.
Call her.
Call me. Or you can go on the tnhealpeople.org and you can register.
Okay. And then quickly, what are your personal habits or practices that contributes to your success?
Just trying to focus on just being happy. Not focusing on the things that could anger you or getting irritated about the small stuff. Focusing on the wins and the love and the people that I meet that are pour into me. So,
thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your story. And I look forward to attending one of Rodney Village's events.
Oh, thank you.
What's up, what's up? My name is Dawn. And guess what? We on They Don't Hear Us.
Hey, I'm Halima Amal L. Found out there's a Channel 10 where They Don't Hear Us is being televised. Check us out.
On the what?
Hey.
Kneecat Network.